They say money doesn't change who you are. It only exposes who others think you aren't. The lobby was marble, the air perfumed with exclusivity. But when Amara Cole walked in, tall, poised, and dressed in a tailored navy suit, the room stiffened. The receptionist's polite smile turned brittle. "Sorry, ma'am," she said with practiced sweetness. "This area is for guests only." Amara blinked. "I am a guest." The woman's eyes skimmed her from head to toe, pausing at her dark skin, her natural curls, her calm confidence that seemed out of place in this world of glass chandeliers and whispered wealth. "I'm afraid we're fully booked," the receptionist lied. Moments later, a white couple walked in, handed over a credit card, and got keys within seconds. The humiliation burned like acid. People stared. Some smirked. And when Amara quietly asked for the manager, the woman leaned forward and said, "Maybe try something within your budget." Pause. Then Amara smiled. A smile so calm it made the receptionist falter. She picked up her purse, looked around the golden lobby one last time, and said softly, "You'll remember this day." If this story already has you angry, don't click away. Like this video, subscribe to the Black Chronicles channel, and hit that notification bell, because what happens next will make you believe in poetic justice. Now, back to Amara's story. Amara Cole wasn't just any woman. She was the founder and CEO of Cole Global Enterprises, a tech company worth over $400 million. But she rarely flaunted it. She believed respect should come before recognition. That morning, she had arrived at the Grand Alaria Hotel to host a conference for women in business, a conference she had funded. Yet she stood there, treated like a trespasser in the very place her company had booked the ballroom for. Minutes later, her assistant, Maya, rushed in, holding her phone. "Miss Cole, the hotel's refusing our reservation. They say payment wasn't verified." Amara frowned. "That's impossible. I wired it myself." The manager arrived, tall, suited, dripping arrogance. His name tag read Jonathan Price. He looked Amara up and down and said, "Ma'am, I think there's been a misunderstanding. We just have strict standards here." "Standards?" Amara echoed. "Yes," he said, with a smirk. "We don't usually rent our luxury halls for small community events." The words landed like a slap. Maya's jaw dropped. A few guests turned to watch, and Amara realized this wasn't a mistake. It was bias, polished with professionalism. She exhaled slowly. "Understood. I'll take my business elsewhere." As she walked out, Price called after her, laughing under his breath. "Good luck finding somewhere you people can afford on short notice." The doorman turned away, pretending not to hear. But Amara did. Every syllable carved itself into her memory. What Jonathan didn't know was that his words had just signed the most expensive lesson of his career. That night, Amara couldn't sleep. Memories of her mother's voice echoed in her head. "Never fight hate with noise, daughter. Fight it with results." By morning, she had a plan. Through her holding company, she reached out to a real estate investment firm in Dubai, one quietly negotiating the sale of the Grand Alaria hotel chain after months of losses. Within 48 hours, her team had begun discreet talks. No one at the hotel knew the buyer's identity. A week later, the ink dried on the papers. Amara Cole became the majority owner of the entire chain, 11 hotels across the country. Her company's name remained hidden behind a parent firm. And on a sunny Monday morning, she returned to the same front desk that had denied her. Jonathan Price was bragging to a wealthy guest when he saw her. His smile vanished. Amara walked up calmly. "Good morning." Checking in. He straightened. "Oh, you again? I told you last time." A young woman stepped beside her. "Mr. Price, meet your new employer." Confused, he laughed. "Excuse me." The woman handed him a sealed folder. Inside, a memo stamped with the logo of Cole Global Holdings. His hands trembled as he read the heading. "Notice of acquisition. Effective immediately. All Alaria properties now owned by Cole Global Enterprises." The color drained from his face. Amara smiled, her tone cool as glass. "Now, about those standards you mentioned." The entire lobby went silent. Every receptionist froze. Even the pianist stopped playing mid-note. Price stuttered, "Miss Cole, I didn't realize." "That's exactly the problem," she said. "You didn't care to." Within days, news spread across the industry. Black woman buys luxury hotel chain that once refused her service. Social media erupted. The same employees who once ignored her now greeted her with reverence. But Amara didn't fire anyone. Not immediately. Instead, she launched the Equity Initiative, a mandatory training and internal audit for all hotel staff. Every employee was evaluated on inclusion standards, with quarterly reviews tied to bonuses. Some applauded, others resisted. Jonathan Price was among the latter. He called it performative nonsense. Until one day, he received an official email. Termination effective immediately. Failure to comply with anti-bias standards. The lesson had landed. Months later, the Grand Elaria hosted a National Women in Business Summit. Over 500 entrepreneurs attended. Reporters lined the lobby, the same marble floor where Amara had once been dismissed like dust. As she stepped on stage, applause thundered. She looked over the crowd and smiled. "When I walked into this hotel months ago, I was told it wasn't for people like me," she began. A hush fell. Cameras clicked. "But I realized something. Spaces don't define us. We define them. You don't beg for a seat at the table when you can buy the table. Expand it and invite everyone who has ever turned away." The room erupted in cheers. But just as the applause faded, her phone buzzed, an anonymous message flashing across the screen. "You think you own us? Wait till you see who really does." Her smile faltered for the first time. Something darker was coming. The message glowed on Amara's phone screen like a warning from the future. "You think you own us? Wait till you see who really does." Her heart skipped. The applause around her blurred into noise. Someone was threatening her, someone who still believed she didn't belong at the top of what she built. That night, she stood on the balcony of her penthouse overlooking the city skyline. The wind tugged at her silk robe, but her mind was elsewhere, back in that marble lobby, back to the smirk on Jonathan Price's face. She had won the battle, but the war? It wasn't over yet, because somewhere inside her empire, the same prejudice she fought to destroy was quietly rebuilding itself. 2 days later, the call came. Her CFO, Raymond Harris, a man she'd trusted for years, spoke in a low voice. "Amara, you need to see this. Someone's been diverting corporate funds through shell accounts under Elaria Holdings." Her blood ran cold. "Who?" There was a pause. Then he whispered, "The board is planning to vote you out." It felt like betrayal wearing a suit. The very change she'd saved was being turned against her. That evening, Amara walked into the conference room where her executives sat pretending not to stare. Her voice was steady. "Before you make your decision, I'd like to show you something." She pressed a button on her tablet. The screen behind her came alive with numbers, emails, wire transfers, proof that a secret partnership between the hotel's old owners and certain board members had been bleeding her company dry. Gasps filled the room. Raymond's face twisted with guilt. One by one, the conspirators shifted uncomfortably. "You thought I wouldn't find out?" Amara asked quietly. "You thought because I'm a black woman, I wouldn't understand business? You thought the same silence you mistook for weakness would protect you." Her calmness was terrifying. And then she said the words that froze them all. "I already sold my controlling shares," she said. Confused murmurs spread. "To a trust," she continued, "that now owns this entire chain. A trust led by women, Black, Latina, Asian, who were once turned away from places like this." Raymond blinked. You gave it away?" Amara smiled faintly. "No, I liberated it." The men at the table fell silent. The empire they tried to steal was now legally protected from their reach. They couldn't fire her. They couldn't touch her. She had outplayed them before the game even began. And as she walked out of that boardroom, one reporter waiting outside caught her final words on camera. "You can't take from me what was never for sale." The clip went viral within hours. Weeks later, the Grand Elaria reopened under a new banner. The Cole Foundation Hotels. Every location was rebranded, with programs supporting minority entrepreneurs and scholarships for hospitality students from underrepresented communities. The same halls that once whispered "you don't belong" now echoed with new voices, new beginnings, new pride. Reporters begged for interviews. Talk shows called her the woman who rewrote the rules. But when asked if revenge felt good, she only smiled and said, "It's not revenge. It's restoration." Months passed. On a quiet morning, Amara walked back into that same hotel lobby, the one where it all began. The receptionist's desk was now led by a young black woman named Talia, who greeted her with warmth. "Welcome home, Miss Cole." And for the first time, Amara let herself feel it, peace. She looked around the golden marble, once a symbol of exclusion, now filled with laughter, diversity, and opportunity. Her empire wasn't built on bitterness, it was built on legacy. As the sun poured through the glass ceiling, she whispered softly, "Mom, we did it." Because this wasn't just her victory. It was every Black woman's victory who had ever been told no, and found a way to turn it into now. They once denied her service. Now her name was carved into the glass doors they once tried to keep her from entering. Amara Cole didn't just buy a hotel chain. She bought back her power, her dignity, and her place in history. And the lesson she left behind? Never wait for permission to exist in spaces you were born to transform. Because sometimes the most powerful act of revenge is to build a world where your children will never have to ask for entry. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Black Chronicles channel, and hit the notification bell. Because stories like this remind us that no matter how hard they try to shut us out, we'll always find a way to own the room.